Welcome back to another review, and today we're going to take a look at the Rise of the Beasts, Beast Weaponizer, Optimus Primal, and Aerostripe. And first I just want to say thank you for 200 subscribers. I was going to make a video for it, but then just didn't. I don't really have an excuse. I'll probably stop doing like subscriber milestone things for a while because the channel is growing so much, and thank you. But I will try to make normal videos more. Yeah, so anyways, here we have Primal and Aerostripe, or I may just start calling them Tigatron for the rest of this video, because that's basically Tigatron. So you've probably already seen this if you watched all my other Rise of the Beast mainline reviews, and that's because this was actually the first one I ever got. When I went to a Toys R Us, I'll put some images on screen, maybe, I probably forgot to. But yeah, so I went to Toys R Us, and they had a ton, and that's when I got this Primal. And interestingly enough, this was actually the first Rise of the Beast toy that we saw. This is our first look at the Primal, because like a year ago at this point, we got like a leaked review. But it's just crazy that long ago they were producing these at a factory, but then only a few months ago it was actually found in stores. So that really goes to show, I guess, how much the toy line and movie were delayed. And you can see it's actually like a pretty nice looking Optimus. So of course it is just standard Optimus Primal. It isn't too accurate to the movie design, but I kind of like the design itself. For this is kind of redesign. Or I guess it would be pre-designed, seeing as how it's probably based on some kind of concept art. And I think he's, for the most part, he's all cast in just this kind of like dark gray plastic, and then in some areas, yeah, like the legs here, it's cast in a lighter gray. And it's kind of hard to tell between what is plastic and what is paint, because like, that's obviously paint. But when you look here at his shoulders, that dark gray right there, that's actually paint. If you look, you can see the actual plastic color there. It is lighter gray, so it's actually like pretty surprising that is paint. The face sculpt here, to me, it basically just looks like the normal Optimus Primal from Beast Wars, but his mouth looks a bit weird. And you can see he also kind of has like a hood going on, which is for the transformation. As for his articulation, this it's okay. So at the head we have nothing. Yet again, another trend with Rise of the Beast toys I don't really like, because these toys as a whole, really fun, but they really need head movement. The only one that I've bought that actually does have proper head articulation, at least from the main line, is Pablo here. He actually has neck swivel. It's very nice. And he's actually the same size class as this Primal, so I guess we'll go into that quick little size comparison between those two. So you can see, I'm not going to do any more, it's because if you want to see the size, look at Wheeljack's review, but you can see they are basically the same height. But I feel like Wheeljack or Pablo is a better value. Anyways, back to Primal's articulation. Yeah, we have nothing at the head. If you want, you can like untab this section and like fake an ab crunch, kind of. Or what you could do is rotate this and then do that, but that just looks really cursed. So yeah, you're not going to get head movement on this guy. And they really couldn't have engineered it in there, so I can kind of see it this time. And then at the shoulder, we just have a ball joint. You can get more outward movement if you move out the shoulder pad, which, yes, is separately articulated for transformation. We just have a ball joint at the elbow, hips, give you pretty decent movement on the side. You get single joint to knee bend, which gives you that much. You can't really get any more. And then this ankles rotate. So that's basically it for the transformation. But one thing I do kind of like with this figure is it just feels very nice in the hand. Like, it feels like a nice, solid, chunky Optimus Primal. But sadly, he doesn't have the greatest articulation. As for accessories, here we have Totally Not Tigatron, of course, or Aerostripe is the actual name. So this is a white tiger from a Beast Wars movie. That is not Tigatron. I'm still confused as to why they didn't call him Tigatron, but he isn't. But it actually looks pretty nice. So this is one of those Beast Weaponizers like that Rhinox we got with Wheeljack, except this doesn't have his own release. With a lot of these, like Wheeljack, that's just repacked or redecoed Rhinox. And even the Optimus release in the size class, the one he does come with that kind of turns like a chainsaw, I believe shares engineering with the Cheetor from the size class. So it's kind of interesting that this, so far, is the only one that's new. I believe we are getting a Scourge in the same size class that does have, like, new transformation. But for now, this guy is pretty neat. You can see there's just a big 5mm port here, which actually means you can just click one Optimus, because he has 5mm port on the arm, leg, and the back, so you can just really stick this anywhere. Has his articulation, move the head a bit, move the leg, and then move the tail. These back legs do not move. That's basically it. And as for his transformation, it's actually pretty fun. So, you split it open like that, you just rip them in half. And then you rotate these bits. There's some ball joints that kind of act as swivels. And move these legs as much as you can. They actually have like a locking point, which is pretty nice. Flip up the tail. Probably going to want to do that first before you rotate these sections, but I forgot. And you rotate in the head. And here you get like pretty neat crossbow that kind of just looks like a flattened cat, but it is still pretty fun little weapon. Attached in here, although again, you're probably not going to be getting him into too many poses with it just due to his lack of articulation, but because this is 5mm, you can give it to really any modern transformer. As for Primal's transformation, first untap this, rotate that around. This is my favorite part of the whole transformation because it's just like kind of clever to do. And then you tap that back in, and you could honestly just leave it at that, but there's still a bit more. So you fold down these shoulder pads, and I think out of all the times Optimus, like Primal does this in his transformation where you flip down the shoulder pads, I think this is actually done the best out of all of them. But it was never really the greatest part of the transformation in the first place, but it is done pretty well here. And then his knees, bend them up, and bend them down. So basically you do that whole Zeta Gundam style thing. And then finally, you can just rotate around ankles to reveal monkey feet, and then that's basically it. So it's a very simple transformation. You would expect it to be boring. Like a lot of Optimus Primal toys I find like extremely boring, but for some reason this guy is actually kind of fun to transform. I think it's a nice, simple little Optimus toy, and again, usually don't like it when they're this simple, but it's kind of fun here. I know this guy, out of all the Rise of the Mainline toys, I think I've seen him get the most hate, but I think it's pretty fun. And even in his gorilla mode, you can still hold that. And then the gorilla mode itself, it does actually look quite nice. It doesn't change too much from his robot mode. You can see it does reveal like some new like tooling on the chest and head with some green paint for the eyes. But it is very similar to robot mode. My big issue with this is just the fact that he can't go on all fours, because that is a very like quintessential Optimus Primal thing. But he is forever like this. I mean, he could do it if you bend the legs like that, and you can kind of reverse these arms. He can do it, except, you know, no head movement, so he can't look up. But again, with how this thing transforms, I don't really expect him to be able to do that. So it's a pretty nice monkey mode. You just sadly cannot do, you know, the all fours thing. That's it for my review of the Rise of the Beast Weaponizer, Optimus Primal, and Aerostripe. Pretty fun toy that I feel like gets a bit of unjustified hate, but a tiny bit is justified. Anyways, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, then no. Thank you for 200 subscribers, actually 230 I think at this point. Yeah, bye.